our greatest joy can be someone else's greatest trauma. And so as adoptive parents, to hoard that joy and to perpetuate that trauma, I think is the antithesis of the gospel, right? And so for us to be humble enough to allow them into our joy and to also step into their trauma at the same time, is just, you have to have that perspective as an adoptive parent, or it's just going to be extremely difficult for you. And it's going to be extremely difficult either way.
Yeah.
But I think it's irresponsible to just keep that joy to yourself.
Oh my goodness, that was good. That was really good, because I feel like at the beginning of our adoption, just carried that trauma on myself all the time. I was like, oh my goodness, we did this to somebody. Like, even though that was her decision to make, I bared that burden for so long. And I really, really, really had to ask the Lord for wisdom in lots of different areas. Whenever I had a question about there, for the longest time, I was so sad that Nora wouldn't look like me. And he was like, that's not the goal. The Lord was like, that's not the goal. The goal is for her to look like me, for her to look like Jesus. And I was like, oh, thank you, Lord, for that nugget that gets me past that burden I was bearing for so long. And he just provided so much wisdom when I needed it for me to move past the burden of trauma that I was bearing, that I kind of, the floodgate that opened whenever we stepped into, we shared that trauma with her bio family. It took a lot of persistence, but we have such a sweet relationship now that I feel like when we met again after 5 years of not seeing each other, it was just like a unique relationship that, I don't know, the bond I feel with her is incredible, I guess is what I would say. And also it was so good for Nora to met them. She had talked about them nonstop up until that point. And when she met them, she got to fulfill all her fantasies or her dreams about what this was going to be like. And she hasn't really mentioned it since then. Not that she doesn't want to continue a relationship with it. It's like, oh, I've thought about this. I've dreamed about this. I finally got to meet them. And then, okay, like I can kind of not move on, but I can live my life knowing what this relationship is going to be like, because I've got to actually have